welcome to this Pilates class using a chair. And I thought I'd use a chair today just for something different in terms of our Pilates equipment or props. A lot of you have said to me that since working from home with this new way of life, you are experiencing back or neck or shoulder pain. And a lot of that has to do with how our desks are set up at home, or not very well set up. So I'm hoping that these exercises will give you some inspiration for when you are sitting at your desks, just to encourage you to every half hour, every hour, just to get up and do a few of these exercises to loosen up the shoulders, the joints, the backs. So yeah, I hope you enjoy it. It's something different, and I hope that you feel better for it. Now, the chairs that you'll need ideally don't have arms, because it's nice to have the space to move the arms around the chairs. And they should have a nice upright straight back if possible. Legs, it doesn't really matter what the legs are like, as long as you've got 4 legs and they're not on wheels, because the wheels are not stable and you want stable legs. So we're going to start off standing, and the chair we're going to have nearby, but please don't use the chair unless you have to. It's only there if you feel unsteady and you need a little bit of a helping hand. But the more you rely on the chair, the more your arm will do the stabilizing work rather than your deep core muscles. So let's get going. And we're going to start off with your chair, as I said, just nearby, just within reach, but preferably not using it. And we're going to stand with the feet hip width apart and parallel, lengthening the crown of your head towards the ceiling, feeling that length into your spine, chin drawing in, the back of your neck lovely and long, shoulders relaxed, arms relaxed, and the knees just a little bit soft and loose. We're going to start with our tennis ball risings exercise. So it's a very subtle movement. We're bending hips, knees and ankles, but we're going to keep the spine as straight as we can. So try not to lean forwards as you do this. Imagine you're sliding up and down a wall behind you. So we're going to start off with a small bend of the knees, just dropping the tailbone down, keeping the pelvis level, and then straightening the legs. Then we rise up onto the toes, lifting the heels. Come back onto the heels, softly bend the knees. And straighten the legs, rise back up. So it's the breath out as you bend, breathe in to straighten, breathe out to lift, and breathe in to lower. Just going to turn to the side just to give you some guidance in terms of the spine. You'll notice I'm not leaning forwards as I do this. Keep thinking of the crown of your head lengthening upwards as you bend the knees and as you lift. We're going to do 2 more sets. And last one. And then rest through the legs, give them a shake out if you want to. We're going to do a little bit more work for the ankle joints now specifically, although the knees and hips work as well. This is a little bit more challenging to balance, so again the chair is there if you need it. And we then again have the feet hip width apart and parallel. Generally the wider our feet, the more stable we are. So if you do struggle with the hip width apart position, just slightly adjust your feet wider. So spread your toes into the floor, and then let's lift your right heel off the floor, keep the toes down. Then also lift your left heel off the floor. Go down with the right heel and then down with the left. Now lead with the left. Follow with the right, lower the left, lower the right. Good. And let's just keep breathing naturally as we move through the legs, and no particular breathing pattern, but don't hold the breath. Feel that support from the abdominals. Again, lovely straight backs, relax the shoulders, relax the arms. Good. Try to keep those ankles nice and strong. What we want to avoid is that kind of wobbly ankle movement. We want to keep them really rigid as we push up through them. Think of pressing down into your big toes. Those are our stabilizers of the feet. Good. One last set to finish. Finishing with the left heel leading the movement and ending with the right. Good, and then shake out the legs again if you want to. Now we're going to do some single leg work. So bring your legs together, and again the chair is nearby should you need it. We're going to start with a leg press out to the side, or a side kick. Now the challenge is to keep your pelvis level, so hips stay level with one another, level with the pubic bone. Try not to shorten the sides of the body. So again, you can keep your arms to your sides. If the arms get in the way, you can have the hands on the hips, or indeed for this one you can have the hands on the waists to encourage you to keep length. As you breathe out, first of all, let's shift the weight into the leg that's closer to your chair. For me, it's my right leg. Then I'm going to take a breath in. As I breathe out, my left leg kicks out to the side and comes back under. Kicks out, comes back under. Breathe out and breathe in. Breathe out and breathe in. Try and see if you can not rest the left foot as it comes back each time. And try and lengthen up through the spine. If we take the leg too far out, we'll probably shorten that left waist. So remember, keep the waist as long as you can. And just check you also don't lean to the right as you kick to the left, because that's counterbalancing, that's cheating. We want to challenge the body to maintain its spinal position. Just 2 more on this side. And then relax the leg, come off the standing leg. You'll notice the standing leg will probably feel like it's doing more work than the leg that's moving, because we're working much deeper, finer, smaller muscles in the hips and the knees and the ankles. So shake that leg out if you want to. We're going to do the same leg. So bring the legs together again. Still my left leg is my moving leg. And this time I'm going to take it forwards and backwards. Breathe out to go forwards, breathe in to go backwards. Now we're using the thigh muscles to pull the leg forwards, and we're using the bottom muscles to pull the leg backwards to open the hips. Again, it's quite a small movement, so obviously the bigger the movement, the more likely you are to have to move your spine. So keep the movement fairly small. Good. Just one last one here, and then rest off the standing leg, the right leg in my case. Shake it out, and we're going to finish with a leg circle. So I want you to start off again standing on both legs. Shift the weight into the leg that's closer to the chair. Try not to use the chair, and then bring your leg forwards. Take it out to the side and take it behind you. Sweep it under your hip, go out and back. Breathe out, breathe in. Breathe out, breathe in. One last one, and then we're going to reverse. So go backwards, out and forwards. Back, out and forwards. Good, really, really good. Keep standing tall in the body, drawing the tummy into the spine. Last one. And then rest the standing leg, shake it out. I definitely felt that more in my right hip because of that bigger movement of the left leg. So let's do the other side. You could just turn around now, or move your chair to the other side if you need it. So again, let's start off with the legs together. This time my right leg is my moving leg, and my left leg, the one that's close to the chair, is my stabilizing leg. We start off with a side kick, so we're breathing out as the leg goes sideways, breathing in to come under. Breathe out, breathe in. Breathe out, breathe in. Keeping the spine upright, using those deep muscles of the leg to stabilize the non-moving leg, and using the outer thighs to move the leg away from the body. 2 to finish. And then rest off the left leg, the standing leg. Then come into front and back again. So I'll just turn slightly to the side for this one. So we're going to swing your leg forwards and take it backwards. Breathe out, breathe in. Breathe out, breathe in. The spine should be keeping still, so watch that the spine doesn't bend or arch. So keep it really strong. use the tummy muscles. Good. And just one last one, and then rest. Come off the standing leg, shake it out. Let's finish with the circles or semicircles. So you're standing on both legs, the weight shifts into the leg closer to the chair. The moving leg goes forwards, out to the side and backwards. Forwards, out to the side and back. Breathing out, breathing in. Breathing out, breathing in. One more in this direction, and then we reverse. Backwards, out and forwards. Back, out and forwards. A little bit more tricky to bring it around from behind us without losing our balance. One last one, and then resting off that supporting leg. Brilliant, well done. So let's use the chair now to bring the legs into a little bit of a different position. So I've got my chair in front of me, and so I'm just going to adjust it for the camera. So my right foot is going to stay on the floor, and my left foot is going to come up onto the chair. Rather than my feet being parallel, hip width apart, I'm now bringing my legs one in front of the other. So I'm as if I'm on a tightrope. So left foot is flat, it stays resting on the chair. Right foot stays on the floor to begin with, and the arms relaxing to the sides. We're going to start by lifting the back heel, the heel that's on the floor, up, and then releasing down. Breathe out and breathe in. If you want, you can add in the arms. So when you lift your heel, your arms float up and down. Palms are always turned in to face one another as you lift your arms. You'll feel really good work into the calf muscle. And as I say, because the legs are one in front of the other, it's a little bit more challenging to balance rather than if the feet were apart, hip width. This is your last one. And let's swap the legs. Left foot down, right foot up. Make sure they are one in front of the other. But also just check you have a kind of 90-degree angle for the standing leg. And the knee, so your legs aren't too close together in terms of distance. And then when you're ready, left heel lifts and lowers. Breathe out, breathe in. Maybe add in the arms if you want, otherwise keep them to your sides. Good. Pressing into the floor with your toes, the ball of your foot, the base of the big toe. Back staying long and strong, head stays still on top of your spine, just moving the arms and the shoulders. Last one, and then rest back down. I'm going to swap the legs again. This time I'm going to bring my right foot to the very right hand side of my chair. My left foot comes back onto the chair. So now my legs are much wider, but the foot on the chair and the leg are going to turn out in the hip, lateral rotation. The pelvis, however, should stay forwards to the front of the room. So shoulders and hips facing the front. Only the left leg is turned out in the hip. The right foot continues to face forwards in a parallel position. Instead of your arms going upwards to the ceiling in front of you, because the leg is in the way, they're now going to go out to the side. So as you breathe out, lift your heel, lift your arm. Breathe in to lower. Breathe out, breathe in. Good. Try to keep that left leg turned out in the hip. Open through that inner thigh. Use your glutes on the left to pull that leg back. Good, but watch the pelvis hasn't turned with your leg. Two more to finish. Last one. And then we swap the legs again. So left foot comes onto the floor, right foot up onto the chair, leg turned out in the hip. So that you've got lateral rotation in the right leg, hips face the front, shoulders face the front, and then it's the left heel that lifts as the arms go out to the side. Breathe out, breathe in. Breathe out, breathe in. We're going to do 4 more. Good. And last one. and then come off the chair with the foot. Give the legs a shake out should you need to. So now we're going to use the chair for our Pilates squats. And in the classes, I always talk about, imagine there being a chair behind you that you're going to sit back into. So now we're using that chair for real. We are going to sit back into it. So I'm just going to move my chair a little further back, and I'm going to sit down onto my chair. Now, rather than going all the way back with my bum and my spine, I'm going to keep my spine upright. I'm not using the chair, the backrest of the chair. And in fact, generally when we sit, we should try not to use the back of the chair. We should use our deep postural muscles to maintain our alignment. Now, we want the feet flat on the floor. So if you need to come further forwards so that your feet are grounded, then definitely do that. Just sit wherever you feel comfortable in your legs and your body. Again, in terms of the chair, ideally, in the ideal world, our hips would be higher than our knees when we're sitting, so that we're not overloading the lower back. But not all chairs are the same, and if you can't adjust the height of the chair, then you just have to work with what you have. But it's something to bear in mind, especially if you can adjust the height. So we're going to come into our squats. Arms are going to relax to our sides, although they might move with the body. What I don't want you to do is push yourself up with your arms. That's cheating. So we're going to take a breath in as you stand up, and then breathe out as you sit back down. Breathe in, stand up. Breathe out, sit down. And we'll keep doing a few more sets like this. We're lowering the bottom with control. So use your quads to bring you down onto the chair, rather than just thumping back to the floor or to the chair. Try and keep your back strong and straight, so we lean forwards, use your tummy, push up through the legs, and lower with control. Good. Now, if you want a little bit more of a challenge, maybe this is enough of a challenge, we're going to not rest on the chair. We're going to literally touch the chair with your bum and go straight back up rather than resting. So the next time you come up, if you want to try this, lower yourself with control and touch and push straight back up. And touch and lift. And touch and lift. And you can make your arms much more active as you do this if you want. You can swing them back and forth, or just let them hold onto your, hang off your shoulders. We'll do 3 more. And one last one. And then sit all the way back. Oh, and rest. Good, okay. So we're going to stay on the chair, but for part 2 of the next session. So I'll see you on the other side. We'll start off sitting on the chair, and I look forward to seeing you there. But really well done for now. Hopefully those legs are feeling really strong. So well done. Bye for now.